So I'm sitting here by my buddy Barry the Brontosaurus that I've already introduced you to. And two very special people that I met way back at mile, I have no idea, but Hiawassee, when I was nursing my foot when it was newly injured. And I met a princess and I met Next Tree. And they were there resting and taking a 0 or 2 or something, but they left the trail. But they're coming back in a very creative way that I want you all to think about. If you can't do a whole through hike, this is the way to enjoy life and do it right. But I got a text message from Princess saying we're in Salem, Virginia, which is about a 45-minute drive from the hostel that I'm working at. And they invited me to lunch. So I just spent a wonderful day with Princess.
Hello.
And Next Tree.
Hi.
And I thought I would never see these ladies again. Scooch together so you could both be in here. So they came to visit me in Glasgow, but I think they came to meet Barry, because that's right.
Yeah.
So tell me, I don't know who wants to go first. Why did you want to hike the AT? And we'll start with that. Like, why did you choose to hike the AT? Who wants to start?
Okay. Well, actually, a coworker of mine got me started with the AT. She wanted to do a section of it and didn't want to go alone, and so I was like, well, I'll go with you. And she's like, okay. Well, she went off for a month-long bike and build event on the West Coast, so while she was gone, I did a lot of research and actually was a little sad because I was like, well, I want to do the whole thing. I don't want to just do a section, you know, but then I thought, that's crazy. I can't, you know, I'm working and money and all that stuff. And she came back and we got to talking, and I told her, I said, you have just created a monster because now I want to do the whole thing and all that. And she's like, yeah, she's like, I can't go now because of school situations and credits, and she had to apply for PA school a lot faster than what she thought. And so I thought, this is it. This is my opportunity to do the whole thing. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna pray on it. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. Well, everything fell into place. I was able to quit my job, financially afford it, and just, you know, I was like, no doubt I'm gonna do it. So April 8th was my start date, and I got out there and got off trail April 27th because of plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis, and pain in both knees.
So I was going to ask about that. So, like, we'll get to that part. So once you started, right, so had you had backpacking experience? You said
No backpacking experience. I hiked a couple of times, day hikes in the Smoky Mountains. I've done some camping, both in a tent and in a camper, so I've done it both ways. And I'm not a big outdoorsy, sporty kind of, you know, I like to do things, but that's extreme.
Yeah.
Carrying a backpack, hiking bugs all day long.
And how many miles did you go? Did you
I successfully completed 85 miles.
That's, you know what? 85 miles. That 85. Is so cool.
Yeah.
For somebody who's never backpacked and just got the bug and said, I'm doing it, and you went 85 miles.
85
and
miles. How
many of those were with plantar fasciitis and Achilles pain?
The plantar fasciitis I actually honestly had before I started, but it wasn't that bad. And in the first few days of hiking, it didn't bother me. I actually thought, okay, well, maybe walking all this time, it worked it out. Coming down Blood Mountain is when I really started to have problems, and from there it just progressively got worse.
And that's around mile 32 or so.
Yeah. And stretching, ibuprofen, rest, none of it wasn't helping. So I made the decision to get off. I cried for 2 weeks.
What was that? Well, so first off, kudos to you. You went 50 more miles with that type of pain. So don't you ever let anybody ever tell you you're a quitter. That's huge. I know about foot pain.
Yes, you do.
So
but you're still going.
What did you go through when you were trying to decide whether to stay or quit, and what did you experience after you got home?
It was a back and forth all day long. Hiking up the mountain, I'm like, this is it, I'm done, because my Achilles would just burn so bad. I've never experienced that before, so I don't know if that's normal for hiking the AT. But when it got to the point where walking flat, uphill, downhill, it didn't matter. I could barely walk, and I was like, no, I don't want permanent damage. To me, it's not worth risking permanent damage. So I got off. The decision to get off doesn't bother me. It's the fact that I had to get off. Right.
And so you made the right decision. It was just
I made the right decision, but I was very sad. Very, very sad. Cried for 2 weeks, depressed. Didn't want to talk to anybody about the trip. I mean, it was really, I had to kind of force myself to do that. And but you and I discussed this when we were in Hiawassee on our little 0 days. I like to do the highlights of the AT.
Which is
places I really like to see. Enjoy it. Take my time. Enjoy it. Enjoy being out there in the nature. And so, you know, McAfee Knob, Grayson Highlands, parts of the Shenandoahs, even parts of the Smokies, all that I love to do.
Glasgow.
Right. Yep. Got to see Barry. And so I've gotten that off the list now.
Yep.
But next tree here, we met on the first day. And
on the first day, like did you start at Amicalola?
We started at Springer Mountain.
Okay.
We were at Amicalola registering, and she heard me talking to the girl that was bringing me up to Springer Mountain that we were heading up, and she's like, "Can I hitch a ride?" Because her shuttle was like 2 hours late.
Wow.
So we gave her a ride, and it was just a perfect match from the beginning. And she will tell you her story, but she texted me and said, "I'm going back to the AT. I want to do these sections," and I'm like, "I'm coming with you." So. This feels right.
Yeah.
This feels right.
That's so cool.
I'm
and hopefully if we work it out, when I get back on the trail in 2 weeks, maybe possibly wherever you are, I can hop on and do something together.
Exactly.
Because we haven't hiked together.
No.
We've only been in parking lots of motels and restaurants. We just like eat and sleep. And so next tree. So wait, where are you from? Did you say?
I'm from New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Say it right. New Orleans.
I'm from New Orleans.
And where are you from next tree?
Well, I'm from Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And I've never had any backpacking experience.
It seems to be a trend.
Yeah.
Backpacking, hiking has never been anything I was ever exposed to. I did a lot of walking when I was in school and such, but never on this type of scale. But it was something that came to me one night as I was trying to find a particular movie on YouTube that I ran up on a hiking video, and I watched it, and it became very intriguing to me, and I kind of felt like this is something I want to do. You know, I think I can walk through the woods and hike and cross the river, little streams and that type thing. I could do that, you know. And so I went about trying to come up with gear, you know, money to buy the proper gear or something that I could use, and planned my trip. Everybody in my family was very surprised. They had no idea what the Appalachian Trail was, where it was, or anything about it, and I jumped in on it. And
now, going off what you said about seeing the video, like, did either of you, did you see videos too?
Oh,
Princess?
yeah, I watched so many videos.
Did you find that they were true to your experience, like the difficulty? I mean, was that covered enough? Switch just a little so I can put you back.
No,
Tell me about that.
In all the videos I watched, the reading I did, and all that, I knew the mental part of it is the hardest. I knew it was going to be physically challenged. I mean, I did a couple of hikes in the Smokies, which weren't nearly what the AT's like, but it was difficult. But watching the videos, they just made it seem so effortless. I mean, even talking and videoing and all.
It is easy. There's no.
I could barely breathe going up the mountain. I had to really watch my footing.
Right.
You know, it just is. There's a lot of in between. And what's on those videos.
Yeah, we were warned about the creatures, you know, the snakes and the bears and the, you know, that type stuff, but never about the effort it would take to climb some of these mountains that they have out here. And there's a lot of mountains in this part of the country, and they want you to climb up top every last one of them and see every view.
Yeah, they feel like you need to summit every one of them.
Right. And that's where I found my difficulty at is in the climb. I never had any problems with my back, my feet, my legs, my head, or anything. It was always the breathing, as I'm climbing. And I was out there for over a month or so, and I just never seemed to get better.
Right.
You know, with always, and that's where I got my trail name from, is because I always had to walk to the next tree and then stop and rest to catch my breath.
Right.
Not because of an injury, but just to catch my breath before I could move on to the next tree.
Right.
You know, but but I never seen any of that on the videos. It was always, just a stroll through the woods.
Did you find a difference, like that your lungs were stronger from the first week till, like, because you lasted, what, 6 weeks? How long were you out there?
Well, I guess about six or 7 weeks, something like that. But no, I never found
She did make it further than me.
Yeah. I never...
It's fine. It is...
I never seen an improvement in it. I think that my legs might have got stronger, but as far as the breathing, it never improved.
Right.
It just, I was always tired and out of breath, and I never could understand that. Now, I know I was at a higher elevation and all that type of stuff, but, never. And like I say, I never had any problems with my body.
Right.
Neck down. It was just the breathing. I just got tired of huffing and puffing just to make up, maybe a couple of yards.
Right.
Yeah.
But that makes sense.
But once I got off the trail and got home, it just didn't feel right.
Right. So at
Because-
that time, so the same question I asked Princess. So what did you go through making the decision to leave? And did you give yourself some days? Because they always say never quit on a bad day.
Yeah.
So what was that
Yeah.
process like? And then how did you feel once you got home? Like,
Well, the climb out of Hot Springs was a very difficult one.
Okay.
You know, I was in Hot Springs for a day and a half. Resupplying and washing clothes and showering and all that type of stuff. And the climb out of there, it was very hard. It was very difficult as far as the breathing, not my body. Not my body. It was just the breathing, and it was like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to go through this suffering of trying to catch your
You're
breath.
here for your enjoyment. And
Yes,
you're not enjoying
yes,
it.
yes. But I think too that I've learned since then is that my pack weight, I needed to work on that, which I did shed some stuff while I was there at Hot Springs and bounced the box up to Irwin, which where I was headed. But still, my pack was still heavy. So that might have been one of my deterrents.
You know what? Did you guys weigh your packs like at Amaclola, and then at the end, like what? What did either of you or both of you get?
Mine was right around 34 pounds with a liter and a half of water and 4 days of food. So, and we did
That's
do
not too bad.
a shakedown at the Mountain
Yeah.
Outfitters,
Yeah.
Mountain Crossings Outfitters.
What did they get rid of?
And a little bit, but not
Not a whole lot.
a whole lot.
Same with you.
Yeah.
No, I got rid of a box that I mailed home of some stuff, but I never could really hone in on getting my food down. That was
Right.
one of my problems too, and I'm hoping I can combat this on this next
Well, they
go
say
round.
that you pack your fears. So my fear must be starving to death because I always pack too much food.
Exactly.
And you said you
And I
did
never
too.
ate it.
Did you pack too much also?
Oh yeah, and I would hardly eat any of
What
it.
else? All right, you don't have to admit, but did either of you pack something that you were like, oh my God, how silly was I?
Actually, no, because of watching all the videos, I said I'm
Which
not
is
going to do
helpful.
that. Yeah.
It is helpful.
Yeah,
How
I
about-
didn't do that.
No, I did. I packed a lot of stuff that I probably didn't need to, because I'm a diabetic, and there were certain foods that I could not eat or wouldn't
Right.
eat off the trail. Well, when I got on the trail with all this exercising I was doing, I'm saying, well, okay, I can eat this because I'm gonna burn it off.
Right.
So I did pack things that I would not normally eat
Got it.
because of my
Right.
diabetes and the fact that
Right.
you just.
Did you find yourself eating it or not? You didn't have an appetite yet.
Well, the appetite part was difficult because once you got to camp, you knew you had to eat something, but you usually wouldn't eat all of it.
Isn't it strange? You would think we would all be starving.
I
Yeah.
had to force
But that
it.
doesn't kick in for a few months.
Yeah.
I had to force it. Unfortunately, I'm eating like a hiker.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm eating as if I'm hiking tomorrow, and I still have 2 weeks before I take this foolish boot off.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So you explained how you got your trail name. How did you get your trail name, Princess?
Okay, so for those who really know me are like, yeah, that fits her. If I could have made the whole event a 5-star event, I would. Okay, I'll be honest. But when we got off at Neal Gap, it was the day before my birthday, and we were like, okay, we're gonna take a rest day. Got some rain coming and all that. So next year he was like, I'm gonna get you a cabin for your birthday. So it was a beautiful cabin, and so after that we went back to Mountain Crossings. The next day we were going to stay at the hostel, and it was just packed because there had a lot of rain coming in.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I need another cabin. So
Right.
we got another cabin, and I could have stayed there for forever.
So you have 5-star. So you wanted to move the cabin into the woods, everything.
Yeah, if I could have,
But no,
on the same hand, I did enjoy sleeping in the tent and the camping.
Yeah.
I stunk and I was dirty, but it didn't seem to really bother me that much. It wasn't. I
So
actually
it's
kind
not
of
like
enjoyed
you were a
being,
princess on the trail. You
No,
just
no, I
loved
enjoyed being that. Yeah,
having the accommodations
and
where
it
you
was
are.
just the pain I was in. If I
Yeah.
could have gotten past
I
that, I
know.
mean, yeah, the mental part of it was all day long, and I tried to battle that, but
The mental part meaning pushing through pain.
pushing through pain, and then just the whole, like everybody else is, you're climbing up the mountain going, what the heck, people do this for fun? We decided to come out
Here
here.
voluntarily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I just think it's awesome because now I don't know a lot of people, I haven't kept up with a lot of people who left the trail, but to know that you guys came back, I mean, this is huge. It's not like you went, this is too hard, and you went home. And I think that's what a lot of people might think of people who quit, like they were not ready. There's a few videos that I see of people who are further up, like 800 miles or 1,000 miles, and they're like, all right, I've heard someone say the imposters have gone home. And I think that's mean.
It is.
That's
It's mean.
not hiker mentality.
Okay, a friend of mine, because I was so distraught about not doing it, because like I said, I was 90% sure I was going to go all the way. There was no doubt in my mind I was going to do this. And when I called home and said the words out loud, I'm getting off the trail, I mean, it was like, I don't know, like my pet had died. I was so heartbroken. But a friend of mine told me, she says, it may not have been about the hike itself. Maybe you had to have that determination, because whatever's going to lead you to the next thing, you had to have that determination to get out there and do that 85 miles, or you wouldn't have stepped foot on the trail. You know, if you kind of went into it going, well, I think I'm going to do it, but I don't know if I'm going to do it, and okay, I'm going to give it a try, you're really not going to get
And
anywhere.
you expected it to be hard. You were
I expected it to be hard. I mean, I wasn't afraid of it being hard.
And if you didn't have the foot pain, and if you next year were able to breathe better, I mean, you pushed through, both of you. You hiked, you know, 80 some odd miles, but at least 50 in I saw you. I met you. You could barely walk.
Get up.
And you kept going for 50 miles. That's not an imposter. And you going to, you got to Irwin, I think?
2 days outside of Irwin.
And still waiting patiently, or not so patiently, for your lungs to catch up. You know, that's not an imposter, and I think you are strong women, strong women who took on a challenge that, you know,
we tried it,
and you tried, you did your best, you pushed through what most people wouldn't even try, and if they did, they would leave right away. But you took a month or so off, and now you're back to do sections. So all right, so you're here in Glasgow for Barry and me, of course. But tomorrow, so what are your plans? What are the highlights?
Well, the first one that we want to try to do is McAfee Knob. That's one of the most cameraed shot on the AT. So we want to go there, and that was something I wanted to do anyway. Was McAfee Knob. So
beautiful.
So we're gonna hike that coming tomorrow on Monday. And we want to try to do Grayson Highland to go see the ponies and the rhododendron.
But there's a
blooming.
glitch with that, maybe. Who wants to explain that?
They yesterday they had a lady hiking with her dog, and the dog and the bear had some kind of an encounter. I don't know the specifics, and the lady tried to intervene in between the dog and the bear to save her dog. I mean, our pets are our babies,
absolutely,
and of course she got injured. I don't know what happened with the dog. They did have the bear in custody, so I don't know what's going to happen with the bear. I mean, we kind of all know, but I'm kind of hoping that
maybe he'll
that
be able
doesn't
to
happen.
make bail bond and put him out of custody.
So, but they closed all trails in and around Grayson Highlands. So as of midday today, I saw that only two trails are closed. AT is not part of that. And so we're going to try and figure out if we can still get on there, and at the very least just do a day hike of it. I don't know if I'm going to want to sleep out there, because they have had, up until this point, a lot of bear activity. So much so that they put a bear box up, which was never there.
Was that?
Thomas Knob Shelter.
Right, I've heard some of that.
And then they put an electric fence around the box and instructions on how to get past the fence to get to the box. So I don't know. If the bear didn't get me, the electrocution might.
So that's not funny. I don't.
We just might make that one a day hike.
Yeah, I don't
and then
you.
But we'd like to do some other sections.
Yeah, what else?
Shenandoahs. We'd like to go there. You know, and hike around there. Just you know. And we both have our vehicles here, so we can do some slack packing if we need to. Just enjoy it. Yeah, we got time.
That's what I love to hear.
Yeah, I actually met a couple of people on the trail who have through hiked it, and this was like their second or third time hiking. So they can enjoy it, because they said it really becomes a job. It's about getting the miles each day, get to the next town, because I'm gonna run out of food and whatnot. And I'm not saying people who through hike or it's a wonderful thing, and I still wish I could have accomplished it, and maybe in the future I will. But
you didn't just quit and say, all right, I can't through hike, so I'm not gonna do anything.
Yeah, but for me it was like, but I really wanted to sit and enjoy that scenery,
and
or
that's the whole point.
Sit by the stream for a while. And for me, I felt like I had to keep going. So
I'm so impressed and honored to know you ladies. No, really, and I hope we'll be forever friends. But to come back like that, and that's what strikes me. You didn't just go home and say, well, I blew it and I'll never hike again. You're like a month later, you're out here, and to go from New Orleans to and Oklahoma and meet here in Virginia and just get out there and do it. I think it's impressive. I think you're awesome. So yay! But here's the downside of this whole thing. For people who've been following my videos, I'm whining the whole time. I'm really not a whiner.
She's really not a whiner. She's
not. Oh yeah,
she's
could
a
you
trooper.
vouch for me? Have you seen me cry?
No, I have not. She's a trooper. I tell you what, she's walked this far with a stress fracture, y'all. She's the bomb. Okay,
it's I just cry when I get overwhelmed. It's crazy, but
you can't explain it to anybody who's never done it.
No.
What it is like out there.
Exactly.
You think sitting at home it's like this, and it's not.
No.
It is not.
It's hard to film the really tough stuff.
It is.
But, you know, so what I was going to say was that one of the things I complain about is I don't meet any women my age. So I meet 2 women my age who I fall in love with, and they leave. They just...
We came back.
You can come back. Man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to say goodbye. If there's you know, something else you think of, I'll, you know, come back on. But, all right. Bye, ladies. I love you.
Bye.
So for both of you, if you can think of, is there anything or anyone or, you know, any situation that inspired you or made you feel empowered to try this? And then on the opposite side, anything that you felt may have deterred you or made you feel badly? So either one.
Okay.
Which...
Well, when I was first deciding to do this and I was watching videos, everybody would ask me, well, why do you want to do that? And I didn't have a reason that people would understand, because telling them just I feel I need to do it, a lot of people are like, yeah, okay, because it's a big undertaking. I mean, I quit my job of 18 years, you know, acquired the money through retirement money and gave up all my belongings, you know, and I mean, just everything. It was like a fresh start for me. But I was watching Early Riser 71's videos, and in the beginning he said that the trail calls everyone for a different reason. And when he said that, I said, that's it. It's calling me. For whatever reason, it's calling me. And I feel like whether you've made it one day or whether you've made it all the way through, you were called for a reason and you learned something in the process. Even if you just got as far as buying the gear and you didn't step foot on the trail, you were called for a reason to do that. And maybe later on down the road you'll get out there or whatever.
Right.
So to me, again, whether you hike one day, you're a through hiker, but you only hike one day, or you go all the way through, you were following something that was calling you.
Yes.
And you should be proud of that for following it. You know, I think there's a lot of pressure on a through hiker that if you don't finish, you're a failure.
So that helped you to make a decision to really
It
have
did.
it put into words that
It did. And
everyone has a different reason.
yeah, but I'll be honest, when I quit, I felt like a quitter. I mean, I really felt like I had let myself down and let everybody else down, because everybody back home was like, woo, we're living in your footsteps. And I mean, it's a lot of pressure, but you know, I got out here and I did it. I did 85 miles. And for somebody who lives in New Orleans, I mean, we're below sea level, y'all. I mean, the highest thing is a levee. And, you know, I got out here and did 85 miles of the Appalachian Trail, the hardest trail in the United States. So I did it. And I'm back out here to do it a little bit more, however much. I'm just going to go with it.
And you have a lot to be proud of, girl.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wear your tiara with pride.
That's right.
I'm going to
get
get you
one.
a tiara. So was there anything in particular that inspired or deterred you?
Well, one of the things that I really liked when I used to watch the hikeification videos, young man from Canada, and everybody wants to ask you, why are you going? Why'd you make your mind up? Why did you decide that? And hikeification said that I don't know. I just maybe want to take a long walk. And I like that.
Exactly.
I do. Maybe I just wanted to take a long walk.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I went with that. And I heard he got off the trail because of an injury.
Yes.
And I hope he makes it
His
back.
knee.
But I enjoyed watching his videos and some of the things that he said. It was almost like he spoke what I was trying to come up to say. You know, what I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
But maybe I just wanted to take a long walk.
There's some wonderful, inspiring people out there. I mean, for
There
the
is.
most part, people are so supportive.
Oh, yeah.
Did
The
anything
community's been wonderful.
deter you? Did you almost not go or almost quit for something that had nothing to do with you?
No.
Good.
No.
That's because you're
That was one
strong.
of the decisions that I've made in my life that it felt calm once I decided.
That's how you know.
Yes.
Right. I didn't have all
Yes.
those, but what if?
Right.
It was,
Yes.
I decided it, and that was it. That was it. It was nothing in my head that tried to talk me out of it. I didn't have any of that, except maybe coming up with the money that I needed. And, you know,
but
once
those
I
are
got that,
external things.
Yeah, that's what anything you do. You got to have money and time and that type of thing.
Good.
But
Yes.
it was just so calming to me to know that I have decided, and this is what I was going to do. I didn't have, you know, any of that negativity creep
And
in.
you're back. So I think you made a lifelong friendship.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Princess.
Bye.
Princess and Next Tree off for their next big AT adventure. No, hiking the AT doesn't have to be a through hike. They're doing it their way. Goodbye, ladies.
Goodbye.